Teach you how to do the basic curling techniques and plan out your hair. This is how the outline is gonna go. We're gonna have a hair washing day, and with that hair washing day, a blow dry and curl. We have to prep our hair that first day. Once we do that, the next day we're gonna do an updo. The following day, we're gonna do another updo or another style. So we get 3 days out of one hair washing and prep day. In this course, I'm gonna teach you the basics of curling your hair, how to do it, the do's and don'ts, how to not focus on making it perfect. Hair is never perfect. The messier, the better. That's why when we see people walking around and their hair looks effortless, it's because it's not perfect. We have to remind ourselves this. Number 1 trick, do not let your hair air dry. We need to be blow drying our hair when we get out of the shower. If we give our hair time to dry on its own, we are gonna have to combat kinks, cowlicks, curls, frizziness that we don't want to. We need this to be easy. So if you can set aside 20 minutes, 20 to 40 minutes, depending on your hair, if you can set aside time to pamper yourself, have a nice shower, wash your hair, put a hair mask on, do all of the things. And then within that time, we need to be blow drying our hair right away to make sure we're smoothing out that cuticle and having it prepped for when we curl our hair. Our blow dry and our curl days are going to be connected. This way, we're gonna get 3 days out of one styling day. We all love silky, fresh, soft hair. That's why when I plan this course, your first day of prepping your hair with a blow dry and curl is because our hair is smooth and silky. We want it down, we wanna touch it, it's great. Second and third day, the silky hair isn't gonna do it. We need to create texture and grit in our hair in order to make sure that our style is gonna last and be easy to achieve. The best way to do this is with my all-time fave, the self-absorbed dry shampoo. Give it a little shake, lift your hair up, and spray into the root. The cool thing about this amazing texturizer and dry shampoo is that it's wet to dry. What does this mean, you ask? Well, it gives you 30 seconds to reset your keratin. By resetting it, we want to rub it into our scalp, make sure it's absorbing those oils, brushing it out, or you could even re-blow dry sections that might be a little bit too kinky or curly for yourself. Check it out. I have grit and texture. I mean, you can see that. This is gonna make our ponytail updos, our half up, half down updos work. We've all done styles where our hair is too silky and we do a ponytail and there's no bounce or no lift. Then we feel like we failed. We haven't. We just haven't prepped our hair properly. Day 2 and day 3. Get yourself some self-absorbed dry shampoo texturizer. It is time to curl our hair and get our hair set and prepped for our first hair washing day with the curls so that we are set up for our day 2 and day 3. I'm gonna show you 2 different ways on how to curl your hair and the different effects and how we can translate this through our hair plan of the month. So pick your part, middle part, side part, whatever works best. I'm gonna go with middle. This is how I section my hair all the time when I want to curl it. I take a section all the way back through the middle. If your hair is parted on the side, just slide it back through the middle. Flip your one side away, and we are going to start from the back to the front. The reason why I section my hair this way and curl from the back to the front is that I don't lose any hair sections. We've all done that before where we have curled our hair and there's one random little piece that didn't get caught. So I'm gonna section from my ear down, clip the top away, starting from the back. I'm gonna split these in two. And if you can see, as I pull my section out, it is long in length and it will be shorter in width. I call this the hot dog shape. The reason we do this is to make our lives easier. We can curl more hair because our curling iron is longer and it's gonna create more of a spiral curl. If we took the section the opposite way and we curled it, the curl would fall out because the skinnier the section when we release, it's skinnier as we drop it out. Therefore, it sets in that curl longer. The wider it is, when you drop it out, it will expand on its own. This is also a key tip if you want different types of curl. So starting out, always put your clamp facing the mirror and we're gonna curl away from our face. Open up your curling iron, clamp is facing the mirror, slide into our section and up to the root and release. I'm gonna do a half turn, pull it down halfway, curl it back up. I'm gonna just tap the clamp to release it before I curl it up. So as we're doing this, we're releasing and curling it up. We're releasing and curling it up. What we're doing is we're getting curl from the root down instead of from curling it up. That way our curl is gonna last. And then when we release it, we're just gonna pull it down. And there's our curl. Don't touch the curl. Leave it to cool, so we're setting this curl longer, and then repeat the section. Clamp faces the mirror, sliding our curling iron through, getting to the root, slowly pulling it out, clamping it up, pulling it out, clamping it up, pulling it out, clamping it up. If you find it's hard to pull it out with your curling iron because it's catching, just tap the clamp to release it, or that might be a good sign that it is time to invest in a new curling iron because the ceramic coating isn't there anymore, therefore it's not gliding through the hair. Boom. Our next section, I like to go at around the hair recession line all the way back. Now I pull this section in front or so it doesn't get caught and clamp up the top section. Now we have all of our hair from the back forwards. We're gonna do the same thing and section it from the back forward. Now my sections are definitely longer like we said. The width is the width of your curling iron. This is 1/4 inch. This is my favorite size, super universal. 1 inch is extremely universal. A 2 inch might be too big to hold curl. So just make sure you get the right size so it won't be any larger than 1 1/4 width-wise. Clamp is facing the mirror. Slide it up to the root. Slide it out a little bit, roll it back up. Slide it out, roll it back up. When we are done, we're pulling it down. Next section, all the way up to the root. Pull it out, release, pull it out, clamp it. Oh, this is gonna happen, don't worry. Go to the root, pull it out, pull it up. There we go. Release, clamp it up, hold it a few seconds. I like to leave a little bit of the ends out. You can curl it all the way up. Try both ways and then pull it down. Now these guys are shorter because of my layers, so it's kind of a little bit tricky. So I'm gonna show you what I do because it kind of slides out of the curling iron. So you might have your section fall out of the curling iron. This can happen just depending on the thickness of your hair and the length of your hair. Once it comes out, I will twist it on itself a bit tighter. Now the section is still warm from the curling iron. This is gonna encourage a tighter curl so that when I break it apart, it's gonna stay longer. Last top section. Again, taking my sections from the back. Clamp it at the root, pull it out, roll it up. This one's gonna slide out. I'm just gonna redo it. I want it a little bit more at that root area. So my ends are kind of still already curled. I'm just gonna leave them. I'm not gonna pull it all the way out. So if that happens to you, don't worry. Just get back in there, slide it down. Now, when I'm picking up my sections, I'm not measuring every single one to make sure it's perfect, but what I am doing is I'm feeling it in my hand. The consistency of the thickness of the section I will feel. Sometimes it feels like too much hair, I pull a little bit out. That's how I kind of determine if I'm on the right track, but it does not have to be perfect. Still taking those hot dog sections. Okay, my shorter pieces, I'm gonna twist it on itself a little bit more. And my last section. Clamp faces the mirror. All right. Now I'm gonna leave it. These are shorter, grown out curtain bangs. I'm gonna leave it just like that. If I need to touch it up the end, I will. We are done with our curls. We're gonna leave it, do the opposite side, same thing, clamp in front, and I'm gonna show you how to break it up in a sec. We have already curled this side of our hair with our 1 1/4 inch curling iron with our clamp facing the mirror. Every section is curled away from the face. This section, we're gonna do a little bit different and show the variation. Same sectioning, top of the ear, back. Starting from the back forward, clamp faces the mirror. When you're doing this on yourself, start it at the root, pull it out, clamp it up, and release down. This next section, I'm gonna curl forward. The clamp is not gonna face the mirror, away from the mirror, okay? We're gonna pop it in, get to the root. Now I'm rotating it towards myself. Still rolling it out, and rolling it back up, releasing, still doing the same technique, but we're curling it forward, and then we're still just gonna pull it down. Now we have 2 curls in opposite directions. Next section is about my recession line back. Okay, make sure we have all that hair. We're gonna do the same thing. We're going to change directions with each section. Take the back one, I'm gonna curl this one away from my face, clamp it at the root. The clamp faces the mirror. Roll, release it out. Roll it back up, just like so, and then pull it down to release the section. When I pull it down, I'm not opening it, I'm just pulling it all the way down. You can open it and pull down at the same time if you need to. Next section, I'm gonna curl towards my face. So the clamp is not facing the mirror, it's facing the opposite direction behind. Clamp it to the root, roll towards the face, release, roll towards, release, roll towards, and then drop down to release that section. This is my last one. I'm gonna take it clamp facing the mirror, rolling away from my face. Just gonna twist this one to encourage a tighter curl, and then let that curl set. Clamp faces the mirror, roll it away, roll it up, pull it out, roll it up. Now, depending on how hot your curling iron is and how thick your hairs will determine how long you hold it in that curl. But by using this technique to curl from the root down, you will not have to hold it as long because we are heating it as we curl it up. So it doesn't have to hold very long. Next section, opposite direction. Clamp faces behind, roll it towards the face. Release and roll it up. Perfect. The clamp is facing the mirror, so we're gonna roll away from the face. Remember, if your sections turn out a little bit messier than mine or your curls don't look exactly like mine, don't worry about it. Messier is better. Last section. Actually, that looks pretty big. I'm gonna take that in too. Because they're smaller sections, I'm not gonna hold it very long. And I like all of these little kind of fringe bits to always be away from my face. So these sections, even if you're doing opposite directions, away from the face, forward, away, forward, when I get to these front sections, I always curl away from the face. I ignore the pattern. And the reason I do that is I want it to open my face by curling away. This section is one direction. This section is opposite, changing forward to back, forward to back. Now I'm gonna break up the curls. I have let the curls set and cool. What I do at home is I will curl my hair and then I will clip or use a headband to get my pieces off of my face. And this is the time that I will take to do some makeup. That gives me enough time to let it cool before I break it apart. I like to rake my fingers down just like so from underneath and on top to gently break the curls. Fantastic. From here, this is where I will use hairspray in order to set the curls for the rest of the day. And I spray down. The hairspray I'm using is from Axis. It is the Works hairspray. It is non-toxic and it is a non-aerosol and it is amazing. Perfect. So we've broken that side up. Let's break apart the opposite side where we switch directions of the curls. Same thing. Hand goes underneath and on top to gently rake out those curls, and then use your favorite hairspray to set them. Because the side is opposite directions, you're going to get a messier curl, a more beachy curl. Because this side was done in the same direction, you're gonna get more of a softer curl because the curls will sit in place underneath the other ones. So right here, you can see the difference in the texture on this side and the volume as opposed to this side. When curls go opposite direction and hit, they bounce off of each other and it creates a messier look. This side is a more softer curl. If you wanted your curls to look even more messier and beachier, you can flat iron the bottom inch section of your curls to create a beachier effect. To switch up your curls even more, the side that has them all in the same direction, after you have let them cool and applied hairspray to let them set, you can take a brush and brush them out. Don't freak out. What we're doing as we curl the hair is we're encouraging it to really sit on top of the curls underneath to create more of a retro glam wave. If it is not creating that wave for you, just keep brushing. What you're wanting to do is kind of pull out that curl a bit on the top section so that it slides on top of the curl underneath. Again, finish with hairspray. There we go. This is another variation of setting and creating wave in your hair. After I finish with my curls and I set them, my last step is to use my self-absorbed dry shampoo to prep my hair, knowing that I'm gonna get 3 days out of it. Give it a little shake, section off the hair, rub it in. It is 30 seconds from wet to dry to absorb any excess oils. And as we're putting in our clean hair, if we start to get oily throughout the day, or even if we're going to the gym later, we have that product in there to absorb the oils before it hits our scalp and before it hits our hair. So we're prepping it to make sure that it will not get any greasier that we want. And look at that volume already that I'm achieving. Perfect. To recap, 3 different curl styles. Messy curls are achieved by changing the direction of the curling iron so that the curls hit each other to create volume and movement. By curling your hair in the same direction, we're creating a smoother effect. And to create an even more smooth effect, what we want to do is brush the hair out to encourage the curls to sit on top of each other to create more of a glam wave. This can also be broken up from this point as well. Shake your hair up, add more hairspray. You still have a softer curl section, but because we've lifted it off of the previous section underneath, it looks more curly than smooth and glam. By brushing our hair into its section underneath, we are encouraging a smooth glam effect. Mix up these curling techniques with the different styles and updos that I'll be showing you, and they will always create a different end look. Here we go. We're gonna take our tiny elastic and gather our hair half up. We're gonna do a semi-angled section through the back, starting around the top of our eyebrows and gliding down. Near, near, near. Secure with a mini elastic. Then we're gonna take that hair, put it away. Now, we're gonna do the same thing, but underneath. Here, and we're tight underneath that previous half up, half down. This time, we're gonna create a bunny ear loop. Big enough to take that top pony and slide it through. Release the ponytail on top. Put our fingers through the bunny ears and then through the half up. Once we are here, we need to secure the bottom elastic tight. In order to do that, I like to pull my hair up and get it out of the way. Now we have this tiny elastic that is looped around the hair. We're gonna pull that tighter. Release the hair on top. And now we have our hair looped around the elastic. This is a great way to do a half up, maybe all of your hair back. It's a great way to hide the elastic without wrapping your hair around it. And we've already done the half up with the ponytail loop through. Now we're gonna take the hair gathered all at the bottom to do another big bunny ear. There we go. I like to open this up, create a little bit more volume. Now we're going to take that tail and wrap it around. Take your bobby pin, wrap it around the tail, and then tuck it away. Opening up the hair throughout the hairstyle to make sure it's more lived in. Now you might be wondering, Kate, how am I gonna get these mini elastics out without pulling my hair out? I got 2 tricks for you. You can take a flat iron or a curling iron, place it up against it. It'll melt it and pop it open. Just make sure you wipe down your curling iron after. The other tip to it is just to pull it and cut it with a little pair of scissors, or break it apart, or if you're a sewer and you have a stitch breaker, whatever it's called, pop that bad boy in there, okay? I am using clear elastics so you can see where my hair is going. I recommend picking elastics that match your hair color. There's many variations of this topsy-turvy that I'm gonna show you. The first one is that we're gonna do 3 topsy-turvies in a row. So we're gonna take our first section from our temples back. If you wanna leave pieces out, go for it. If you have a side part, no problemo. I want my hair a little bit more back because it's a little bit greasier today because I did a workout. Start with our mini elastic. We're gonna pull it down a bit and use our topsy-turvy. Slide it in the middle. Flip the hair through and pull. Now, does that take you back or what? We're gonna pull it apart a bit and tighten the hair at the bottom. Perfect. You can leave your hair just like this. This can be your second day style. Or let's show a variation. I'm gonna take more hair and pull it through. Here's my section. Right from about my winged eyeliner, back, pop my fingers up before the ponytail. Separate the hair, grab your mini elastic, and we're gonna secure it on top of the previous one. Now you guessed it, topsy-turvy it. Slide the topsy-turvy through the middle, guide the hair through the loop, and pull through. We're gonna do the same thing and pull it apart a little bit and then tighten the hair underneath to hide that elastic. Now, we have done 2 topsies. Let's do one more. I'm gonna take my section all the way under what is left and secure it on top of the other 2. Topsy-turvy time. So as you can see, as I'm taking my sections down, they're getting thinner and thinner. That's my hair type. If you want to have bigger sections, you can take more hair. Go with the flow. Maybe just take what you can this time. Next round, when you do this hairstyle again, maybe you only do 2 sections. Maybe you take bigger ones, smaller ones. It's all good. Topsy-turvy variation for you. I'm gonna take all the hair. I'm gonna pull it all back into a low, mid to low pony. I've doubled up my mini elastics. I forgot to tell you. I'm going to refine. I like to pull out these pieces. These guys on the side. Okay, here's our ponytail. Topsy-turvy. Pull it out. The reason we're pulling our hair out is to create space to be able to flip that ponytail through. It's gonna make your life easier. Find that center. Loop the ponytail through. And flip it through. Now this can be a style all on its own. You can do this in the middle, on the side of your hair, 2 of them if you wanted. It's so easy. This could be one of your hat days where you do 2 on the side, have them come down, even 1, maybe a baseball cap on top. So we're still seeing some texture and some interest. It's not just a normal ponytail. There you go. Now I know you've just mastered the topsy-turvy. So this is your day 3 updo. Now I like to do updos or sleeker looks on day 3 because I tend to have more oil in my hair, or I've done a few workouts and haven't washed my hair. So I like a sleeker, smoother one. So I have pulled these pieces out because I've used the self-absorbed dry shampoo. I did the one variation where it's the ponytail, topsy-turvy. Now what we're gonna do is keep looping that hair throughout and secure it with some bobby pins. Here's our ponytail. Slide the topsy-turvy through. Loop that hair. Pull those ends through. Now, if you have shorter hair, this is kind of where you would end. You can pull it a little bit tighter, but my hair's longer. I'm gonna have to do one more. Loop it through. Pull it through. Now, we have a cool bun, but we've got to secure it. When we have it looped through this way, we need to place our bobby pins in horizontally to hold the hair. What we're going to do, here's the loop. We want to feed the bobby pin inside the loops. Do not open your bobby pin. Feel it with your finger, or ideally have a mirror so you're looking at this behind you through a bathroom mirror. I don't, because I'm recording. Slide it through. Do another one. You're gonna do 2 on the other side as well. Now that we have it secure, we can start refining it, pulling some pieces out if you want. If you're finding that pieces are flipping out because you have layers, don't worry about it. I have a few I can feel and see. I'm going to take a bobby pin and flip it underneath. Loop it around the hair and tuck it away. Just want to remind you, the reason that I can secure those bobby pins in easily because it has grit from the dry shampoo. You can try this if your hair is super silky and you're just not a dry shampoo person. It might work. It's gonna work better with a texturizer, all right? So this is your day 3 do. Feel free to add any accessories or like clips or anything cute. Bobby pins, like I've got these pearl bobby pins that are so cute. All of these accessories will be linked in my Amazon storefront, link below. I've got your day 2 style. It's gonna be a ponytail. Very simple, but don't underestimate the power of a ponytail. Now, this is my hair. I've got dry shampoo. I've prepped it. Now, if your hair doesn't look like mine the second day, it's okay, because remember the key word, the messier, the better. I love these coily elastics to do this style. What we're gonna do is create a full ponytail. 2 ways we're gonna do that: by using a texturizer, of course, and to not do this on the first day. We don't want silky hair. We want a little bit of grit. So, gather your hair. If you want a middle part, side part, no part, that's up to you, whatever you'd like. Just a normal ponytail, except when it gets tight enough, instead of going all the way around, I'm going to section the hair and loop it through the bottom. This one's a little messy. I usually flip my head on an angle to make sure it's out of the way. If you are good enough and smooth enough, grab a jaw clip, clip it out of the way. I'm gonna do that. Now we have this hair. I'm going to create 2 double loops on that bottom half. The reason we're doing this is we're creating separation between the 2 sections. When we tighten it all together, we have bounce, we have lift. Now, if you don't want to see the elastic, no problem. This is when you're just gonna take a section of hair on the bottom, wrap it around, take your bobby pin that we have done before, we're gonna open it, loop it around the tail end of the hair, tuck it in. Loop it around the tail, tuck it in. I like to pull out some pieces, and there's my full volume second day ponytail. Second day volumized ponytail, option 2. I'm gonna still use the same coily elastic, or use your favorite one. Plop my hair in a regular pony. But we're not done. What we're gonna do is a reverse topsy-turvy. Pull your hair out, create section through the middle. Topsy-turvy is going to go in reverse, and we're gonna flip it under and over. Underneath, gather the hair inside the topsy-turvy, and we are gonna flip it up and through. Tighten the hair, and we have mega volume. Because the hair is underneath and it's in the opposite direction, we have fullness and we have bounce. If you don't want to use a topsy-turvy, this is when a jaw clip comes in handy. You're going to lift your regular ponytail, clamp it underneath, drop the hair on top. It'll create that same effect. Day 3 updo. We are going to add on to the upside down topsy-turvy. We are going to create a braid with the rest of the hair to create a new updo. We will need 1 tiny elastic and some bobby pins. I'm gonna spin myself around, and we're gonna do a normal 3-strand braid. Three-strand braid. The outside goes into the middle of the remainder. The outside is going to go in the middle of the remainder. Continue this. When I do it on my own, I grab it with my pointer finger and my thumb. Grab, now it's in the middle. Change my finger position, release and have my pointer and thumb. Grab, it's in the middle. Change my finger position, release my thumb and forefinger, grab in the middle. If your hair is shorter, it's not going to be as many loops. Now, we need to pull this apart. Start by gently fanning out that braid from the top down. The messier, the better. Now, if you're finding it's too tight on that bottom, to create more of that fanning and opening of the braid, you're going to slide the elastic down to create more space to open up that braid. Perfect. Now, we're going to do the same technique that we did before with the topsy-turvy bun when we looped it all together and tucked it underneath, except now we've done the opposite direction and we've created a braid. So now we're adding texture. We're going to take this hair and tuck it under. And remember our bobby pin technique. We're going to go through the loop. Secured. Add another. Done. Now, we have these pieces we need to connect. We're going to fan them out and do that same technique with the bobby pin. We're putting it in, slide to the side, and locking it in place. Start with this side, feel where everything is, down, side, lock. Down to the side, lock it in. Your hair will fall out throughout the day. Pieces are gonna show up, they're gonna fall down. Don't worry about it, let it happen. Because we've added in the texturizer, it's okay if pieces fall. The messier, the better. Now, with this variation with the braid, you can imagine if we did a tighter braid, you would have a more intricate bun. If we did this lower, we would have more of a classic bun on the side. You can also do this with 2 ponytails on the side, loop them underneath, and then do 2 braids and pop them down and connect them together, making one big braided bun. These are the variations within this one style. Try a bunch out. Try one big braid, try a small braid, even maybe try 2 braids within one. Day 2 hair, I'm gonna give you a few different variations of this. We're gonna create a middle part or a side part, however you part your hair, but we're gonna do space buns. First, what I'm gonna do is half up, half down space buns. I section my hair from my receiving line back from the middle part. If you rock a side part, rock the side part. I'm gonna use mini elastics. Because we've prepped our hair with dry shampoo, we've got grit and bounce. That's gonna work to our advantage. Once we finish, we're gonna create a bunny ear, like this. Let's hit the other side. Gonna pull my hair up, find my receding hairline, and go backwards from there. Now I'm just using my finger section. Remember, the key to this, messy is better. Messy is better. All right, we're gonna do the same thing, create a bunny ear. So we're not gonna pull the hair all the way through. Perfect. The cool thing about this style is the bigger or smaller or the amount of hair that you pull in will change how big the bun is gonna look. So with these 2 space buns, we're gonna put our fingers through and we're gonna loop one into the other. It doesn't matter which one you choose. So I'm gonna take this one and loop it in side the other one. Now, because I have the elastic here, it's gonna anchor my bobby pins. So I'm gonna pull it over top, and you know what? This one isn't big enough. I'm just gonna open it up a little bit more. I'm gonna pull it over top of the elastic. You can take your bobby pin and not open it. I'm gonna take part of that hair. We're gonna go down with the bobby pin, move it to the side, and slide it underneath the elastic. We're gonna do the same with the other side. So here is our elastic. Move it right underneath. So we take our bobby pin and we're gonna go all the way down, slide it to the side, and slide it underneath the elastic. So down to the side, slide it in. That's it. From here, pull it apart, maybe throw another bobby pin, pull your hair back, make it messier, make it tidier, whatever you want to do to customize it yourself. Now, I have the rest of the ponytail sitting in the back. All I do there is I take it and just spread it out and keep it messy. This is your day 2 from curling your hair. Space bun variation 2. I'm gonna take it all the way from my ear and diagonal it back and meet at my part line. And remember, you can change your part however you like. Using our mini elastic, we're gonna do the exact same thing. We are going to create a bunny ear, like so. Same with the other side. I'm gonna pull up from my ear. So what we're doing this variation is taking more hair into it. This can be done with naturally curly hair too, or straight hair. I find with curly hair, it's easier to make it messier. Now we're further away than we were when we did the 2 mini ones from the recession hairline. Now because of this, I need to make sure that this loop is large enough to flip over to the other side. If you have short hair, you're gonna have to make them closer together. The closer together the bunny ears, when you loop it together, the smaller the bun. The further away it is when you loop it together, the bigger the bun. So I'm gonna pull this guy out. Pull this guy out. Now I have my 2 huge bunny ears and I'm gonna loop it through just like last time. As I hold my hair in place, I'm gonna do the same technique. I'm gonna go down with my bobby pin and then slide it under the elastic. Take that loop, go down on the opposite side of the elastic, slide it to the side and go underneath. You will feel it lock in. So now I have a much bigger bun and I still have a middle part, which I absolutely love. Again, you can adjust. This seems a little floppy. That's okay. Take another bobby pin. Grab it. This is how I make it look messy and effortless. I'm gonna grab it, give it a little twist. Same thing with the bobby pin, down and through. Okay. There's our second variation of the space buns. This is more of a traditional half up, half down. Variation number 3 for your space buns. This variation is going to be using all of our hair. So because of that, I'm going to double up my mini elastics. If you feel more comfortable using a thicker elastic, go for it. But the key is if we're going to use a middle part or side part, we're still going to do 2 buns in the back, but we don't want to have a crease in the back. So the way to get around that is to do a zigzag part. I'm only going to use my finger to do this because the messier the better. I'm going to clip that side away. Now I like it with some hair out. If you want to keep it smooth, maybe you want a little bit more of a polished updo, then tuck it all back, maybe use a little bit more hairspray, whatever you need to do. This is one variation. You can make it smooth or messier, however you want. So, just like we've done before, we're gonna gather all the hair behind. I'm gonna pull out some pieces like so. So I've got double elastics. And create that bunny ear. Then just like to pull a little bit of that crown texture out. One of the reasons we also use 2 elastics, not just because it's stronger, but if one breaks, you get a backup. Pulling all the hair back. I'm gonna leave some pieces out. You do what you need to do. We have our 2 bunny ears, okay? Now, we're gonna do the same thing that we've been doing. We're gonna open up those bunny ears. I'm gonna put one into the other, okay? Same thing with the bobby pins. I'm gonna go in, sideways, lock it underneath the mini elastic. Now, we have these guys in the back. This is how I like to tuck them away. I'm gonna open up a bobby pin. Gather it inside that bobby pin, flip it and tuck it away. Flip, tuck. So you can see from the one idea of doing the space bun, bunny ears, however we want to call it, we're gonna get 3 different ideas of how to do this one style, depending on how big we're doing our loops, how close together they are, and how much hair we're using. I hope you enjoyed all of the variations, all of the tips and tricks. You can mix and match these throughout the month to create endless options with your hairstyles. Now remember, at the bottom of this, I will have a link that shows Kate's kit. It's gonna show the recommended products and tools that I use. My faves, of course, you must have the self-absorbed dry shampoo and the 1 1/4 inch curling iron. Thank you so much for investing in this. I hope this was educational and I can't wait to bring more to you. This is just one tool. I got a lot more up my sleeve.